We might need a longer opening.
It's too short.
It's too short, Jay. I literally, you know what, guys? Let's do it for effect again, one more time. Okay, guys, welcome back. We're going to pretend like we didn't just do that 10 seconds ago because this is the day that we're in. Oh, if the green room could talk, JD, if the green room could talk, we'd have stories for days. But we are
Oh
here to
my
talk
gosh.
about, we're here to talk about, as you can see on the screen, the CONCACAF Men's Under-20 Championships that are happening. We saw the qualifiers that happened a few months back. And we have 12 teams now vying for 6 spots. Guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Africans on the YouTube channel. One day I'll tell you my real name. If you follow my Twitter account, you know what my real name is because there's a specific player in the CPL that I always repost their links because it's a strong name he has, a strong name. But we're here to talk about the CONCACAF U20 Championships. We have 12 teams that are vying here, guys. If you are new to the channel, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're unfamiliar with me, hello. If you know the man underneath me, we Max it, I Max it. He's a football host. He's been rejuvenated by Spanish goals and English tears, so good for him. He's feeling good. I'm not sure how that's going to translate for the U20s, but we are happy to see. And don't worry, for those of you who are wondering where that women's Olympic preview is, that's coming on Tuesday, guys. That's coming on Tuesday, where JD gets to put on his Nigeria hat. I get to put on my Canada hat because you root for someone. I, for one, the country of my birth, but also my heritage isn't there. Hey, they played well, but they couldn't make it through. So we'll talk about all those things as we go through. But guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We work through this. We are talking U20 qualification championships levels. If you are unfamiliar, here is the setup. We have 3 groups of 4. Group A is Costa Rica, Cuba, Jamaica, the United States. Group B is Canada, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, and Honduras. And Group C is Guatemala, Haiti, Mexico, and Panama. How it works, the top 2 teams from each group move on, with the 2 best third-place teams moving on to form the quarterfinals. Semi-finalists make it to the World Cup in 2025, which I believe is happening in Chile. We'll confirm that as we go through. So if you make it out of the group stage, you're 1 win away from the FIFA Men's Under-20 World Cup happening next year. And it's a big year. The reason why I think this is a very big tournament is because for some players, this is their moment to break into a international scene. But for others, this may be a chance for them to break in and say, hey, we are players of promise that can break into a national team a year before and get onto that for World Cup qualifiers, or maybe get into a World Cup squad. I always bring the example, Ghana, for example, back in 2009, they won the FIFA Men's Under-20 World Cup. And the federation basically just took the glut of that team, mixed it with the core that went to the 2006 team, and that was the 2010 Ghanaian World Cup team, who famously were a hand away from making it to the semifinals of the South African World Cup. So U20s are great. They are a good tournament to kind of look at players. And I've talked for about 3 minutes, which apparently I can do very often. But JD, how are you doing? How are you feeling U20 wise? And let us begin.
Thanks guys for joining us. As what African stated before, please do hit the like button, share, and definitely subscribe. Thanks to all the early listeners. We are definitely trying our best to make this one of the best podcasts. Watch on both channels. Even if you're not watching on each, just go on any one of them and subscribe on both, so we can get the platforms running. As it relates to the tournament itself, the timing, it's very harsh for me, because as you guys know, I'm in Belgium, so the time zone is very much off, 6 to 7 hours between Eastern time and Jamaica time from my location. So some of these games I have to stay up for the entire night, or wake up in the morning, early mornings, like 4 o'clock to do the game. So definitely support this tournament that I'm doing, because believe me, it's my soul I am putting in it. All right. Yes, because I am tired. Yes, but as it relates to the tournament itself, I think it serves for a good level of excitement. I know that we're going to have the Olympics taking place, but when I've looked at some of the rosters, you're seeing some quality guys, and I can't wait to talk about some of the better players. You said top 5, I have top 50 because all of these guys are good. I'm just hoping that some of them are definitely good for Jamaica, so I can talk some good thing about Jamaica. But you have some world level players in some of these teams. So yeah, man, good tournament, and I am loving it.
No, that's true. That's fair. There's a lot of good players. Now, we did have as a topic, Jay, do you want to do group or do you want to do 5 players to watch first? I am good either way perfectly.
Let me
You
go
go.
through the groups first. Or
Okay.
I think the players. Let me go through the players first. So
Mhm.
after talking about the players, we can make the groups. I think that makes more sense. So yeah.
Yes. So we have 5 players to watch. And guys, as you are in the comments, let us know who your 5 players are. If you want to just be biased and say the 5 from your country, I won't hate you for that. That's fine. But if you put us in who are 5 players you're looking forward to see at this tournament moving forward, we are not good. We have our own list. We can make a combined 5. I'm good with either or, but I will start, JD, with a player I know is on your list. I know this player is on your list.
Let me see if you're gonna go with him. Let me see who you're gonna go with.
The first player I have on my list to watch that I'm excited to see how they look at is a little known Haitian player.
Ooh,
He's playing at Inter Miami currently.
what?
Um, and it almost to say that his destiny is to be on the list of a Maxit list JD or some. It is Brian Destin or Brian Destin from Haiti, who's on this squad. I'm very much curious to see how he will do. He had a good showing. He had good movement in the qualifiers. If you look at the qualifiers or at the level that he's playing at, he's a player at the qualifying level that he has 5 goals at the U20 level in 7 games, right? These stats are all on transfer market, guys. But he's interesting for me because in Haiti's group of Guatemala, Mexico, and Panama, it's a conversation of, I think, on all things, I think you're fighting for third place because you're trying to get a team into that next round. I think Brian Destin is a good player. You need 9s who can score, or you just need players who can score the ball. And he's shown that he has done this at this level. So the first player I'm looking forward to see is Brian
Yeah.
Destin. It's going to be tough for him to break into Inter Miami because all the old heads that are there. But I think once they start to drop off, will be a perfect time for him to start to push in. I think it'd be great if through his time he can make it off of that second team and maybe onto the bench for one of these sides in the next year or so. And if he's able to do that, I think the sky really is the limit for this player because I think he can be a very good 9 for Haiti who have good 9s, but they just aren't able to score. Haiti is the side, both men and women, who will have plenty of shots, but nothing within the frame of the goal. It feels on the national team level. Yes, JD, you can say what you want. That's fine. You can look out, keep on looking. My words won't change. They won't
It's
change.
okay. It's okay. Ghana doing well. So
What
and
does God
Canada
have to
doing
do with
extremely well. Extremely well. Both of your teams doing well. So your aura is, yeah. Claudine should have been
JD?
here.
No, Claudine only shows to see if I'm here after a loss or a win. Okay, there's no games to
Facts.
play. Okay, and guys, I'm just gonna say this now. I am away this weekend, so win or lose, I am away this weekend. This was pre-scheduled. Don't come for me. I planned this trip. I am away this weekend. Claudine becomes like, "Oh, Canada lost on Saturday. Where's Africans?" I am away, regardless of what happens. But Brian Destin is my first player. I think he could have a good tournament that can really maybe push him into that first team. And if he continues to play well for the second team, enter Miami, I think he's a player who could really do well with this tournament. So Brian Destin, that's my first player.
All right. Obed Vargas. Obed Vargas would be the first one on my list.
Mm.
This is what, this is what I do love. A lot of the Americans, Mexicans. That's what I saw with this competition. Because, for instance, if a lot of these guys chose America would have had a solid, dominant first squad, even with some of them leaving for Olympics. You understand me? So for me, I think this changes a lot. A few of the persons that chose to go from Mexico changes a lot to Mexico's actual full depth, because I truly believe that this kid can already force his way in the national team, the actual national team. So with that said, I think he's going to be a very, very good player in the team. Market value, I think he has the highest market value of 3 million at 18 years old. I'm expecting big things from him. And remember, it's based off how Mexico actually plays, because Mexico plays with a pressing system. So you expect their midfielders, their deeper line midfielders, to be doing the work. I know that the last time when we saw them at the younger age of U17s, Carrillo picked up a lot of plays, and it was totally down to their midfield. So I'm expecting to see the same style, and they are going to be coming to make an impact this time. Remember, the last U20s, they never qualified, so they can't afford that to happen again when they are one of the best teams there. And I do believe that if he plays antics, I think it's night for majority of the other teams. So that's my first one on the list.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that's not a bad name. I think you mentioned like the U. I wonder if the U.S. because I know the U.S. had issues with getting players released just because they had a lot of players for the Olympics they weren't able to release because clubs weren't letting them go, which is unfortunate. Um, I wonder if you're the U.S. or that, does the Olympics help you or hurt you? Because I think it's an interesting thing because I feel as if that the Olympics should give you a bigger pool of players that you can look at. You have your U21s, your U20s, your U all those, but then also now you can look at your U20s proper. But I feel like Mexico and especially Canada because they're hosting, not qualifying for the World Cup really is an unfortunate thing for them because they could have been looking at players who are maybe on the outside looking in, those young players who are looking to burst into that national team level, and they can't do that. Whereas the US has that opportunity, but it feels like they're wasting it a little bit just because of what's it called? Clubs wanting to keep players at this point. How am I finding excuses? I haven't even talked about my team yet.
I do believe that the United States has to work with whatever they do have. They have the luxury to have a big pool, a massive pool, so they have to just keep on picking the players. The only difference it's going to be grades of players coming. So if they could have maxed out for U20s, because I do believe that they could have picked a team market value. I know that market value might not be the main thing about the players because they can value a lot and don't click together, but they could have had a market value easy well over 25 million based on the players available, but based on where they want to send those players, because they want to make a statement in the Olympics. And obviously, you know that the men's team has some other ambitions as well. So I think that they're flexing their powers. Will it work? I think that Mexico is coming to prove a point, so it may not work, but I am still here to watch it because I want them to push Mexico to the end widths and the other teams them to push them to the end widths to see how we can improve. Because at the end of the day, you want these teams to be better at the end of the day, and that's the sole purpose.
No, and that's fair. That's fair. So again, the timing and all those things that are unfortunate. It would be great if like you could have seen more, but I think it makes the competition more exciting. It also starts it off with people. I know we saw on X people saying, "Well, we don't have the strongest team here." Well, that's fine. Well, no one's complaining. We're out here to play, so there's no complaints there. You mentioned someone who was playing for America going to Mexico. I'm gonna talk about a player who, in my heart, I wish was playing for another team in this competition, but is playing for the U.S. I'm looking at
Figueroa.
Figueroa. Yes,
Okay.
Figueroa is interesting to me because he is right. I don't want to put this type of label on him because if I say he to me is like the Marcelo Flores of this tournament, what I'm trying to say is he's the high profile player. He's at the high profile team and he's performed well enough there, but I want to see how he's developed over the time at the U17s. I mean, looking at his transfer market, he had 9 goals in 14 games at that level. At the U19s, he's had 1 goal. So for me, I would love to see this player, how he continues to develop. I would also love to see this player playing for Honduras. I really would, because that's where his father's from. And I think the more you make, and you can say he made the right choice, and that's fine. I don't mind it either way. I think it's great for the region if you have different aspects. What I want may not be what the player has in the start, so I'm cool with that. But I think as a player, I want to see how he continues to develop, just because he's in that system. He comes with that pedigree. Is he going to feel as if he has to dominate to prove a point, or can he just fill in his role, which is be the 9, put away goals, moving up, and just doing that as well? So I think for me, Kaylor, that is the player I am watching just for on a CONCACAF level, just because, again, as I said, I wish he was playing for Honduras, because that would have made that team interesting. But I want to see how he develops, since we saw him at U17. So Figueroa, that is my player that I'm looking at in terms of
Figaro, okay,
yeah.
That's understandable, and I'm looking out for him as well. I do want to see what he could do. I saw that he's definitely doing well in the U18s. Just the same, we saw the U18s a while back, and I want to say that it was not the strongest, but I still believe that if you go in there and you play too soft, you might get pushed off. So him getting so much goals in so little games, that is very good from him. Goals and assists as well. And the last tournament, he played well. We can't. I thought that he did everything what you ask of him. And the kid, he's a nice player. He's a nice player, and that's all I can say as it relates to Figueroa. I think he's growing strong and stronger and stronger, and what he's going to turn out into, he's going to be very good in this CONCACAF region. And I do believe that he fits the United States system more than anything else. So don't be surprised if within the next 2 years he has a breakout season and we start talking about him at different levels. But he has that about him. Yes. So once you talk about Figueroa, I'm going to try and go for next. I wanted to put Corilla, but Mexico have so much talent. I have like 5 of them before I even actually go to the next place. So I'm going to name out all of my 5 before so I can focus on other teams. So Corilla is my player. Corilla is very, very strong, controlling ability, put himself in good position, and his finishing as well is very good. All right, so I'm looking out for him to break through just the same. Him and Figueroa always going side and side, like they mirror their careers. So I'm expecting Carrillo to go push and do well. I actually think this is going to be his breakout season. But yeah, Padilla and Dominguez, those are 2 wingers that will cause some problems with Gerardo as well. So those are the 3 wingers with Carrillo to finish off the players that I have for Mexico. I'm going to say that they are going to star, and I actually expect Mexico to win the entire thing.
Okay. That's fair. I think we can see that go. So is Jeremy De Leon playing? Well, let me look him up and see if he is.
I don't know. I'm not Brazilian. What? Why is he answering his own questions? All right, so let me pull up Edie. I'm on Edie now.
Okay.
You had went for Destin, right?
I went for Destin, yeah.
Oh yeah. Destin is a poacher of a player. He just puts himself in the right position at all times. Yeah,
you need that
like
though, because at the end of the day, you just need goals. So if he's gonna poach his way through it, I don't care. As long as it ends in the back of the net, I won't complain. And I think for them, if they're able to do that, that gives them a good stand, because they're gonna need goals in that group, because they're in the group with Mexico, Panama, and Guatemala. On paper, you would think Mexico, you're going to need goals in that game. Guatemala, I don't want to sleep on them. And then Panama is a solid side. I don't want to sleep on them. Yes.
Panama is okay. Oh my God, this prediction is going to be. Oh my God.
I am fine with whatever happens. Speaking of Guatemala, because that this is the rule of life when you're when you're Canada, the teams that have beaten you past tournaments are like, "Hey, remember when your player tried to paneka us in a?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Pepper Spray remembers as well, but I think from Guatemala, a player that I'm intrigued to see. He currently plays at LAFC 2. He had 3 goals in the qualifying round. It is Matthew Evans. He's the
Matthew
Guatemalan in
Evans.
the pic. He's the LAFC guy in our overall thumbnail for the video. He's an interesting player just because I view him as he's in that attacking midfielder to right winger. I think he's a player that could really help in dictating and be creative. As we've seen him at the U20 level, he has put in 6 goals in 7 matchups so far. So again, 2 of them were in 1 game, or 3 were in 2 games, basically. But still, you need someone who can score goals. And if he's going to be an attacking minded midfielder or just a cut inside type of a winger, I think he's an interesting player to look at because I'm curious to see with Guatemala. Guatemala is a team that, I underestimated them once, and because they've had all this time to prepare, I will not do that again. Um,
Okay,
so
okay.
so with
All
that
right.
being the case, I do like what they have, but Matthew Evans is my next player to look at because I know there's
Matthew
other
Evans.
players there, but I think Evans to me, along with Guatemala as a whole, it's more of a conversation about Guatemala as a whole. I feel like they should be able to do well in this group because on paper, outside of Mexico, it should be open. But I don't know if I want to trust the out on paper aspect of this because last time we said on paper, Mexico should have been fine and they were beaten by Guatemala and weren't able to make the World Cup. So I think that group, every group is really open. And I'm curious to see what they're able to do. But Matthew
Mexico is
Evans,
not going to mistake this time. Mexico they will beat the bricks off. I'm very sorry to let you know they're coming and they're going to be good. They are going to be good Africans. They're going to be
I,
very good this time. Very good. Yes, yes, very good. Facts. Yes, you pointed out some good players, some good players.
Mhm.
I was looking at the 80 list to see who they actually have right here. But I'm not seeing so much players. They have made some changes, right? They have made some
Yeah,
changes, and that's
made some changes.
my surprise there. But majority of the players I'm going to pick, I'm going to have to go with the forwards. Set powder. He
Yeah.
actually, I wouldn't say he looks sometimes like the most clinical player, but his physical presence can link up plays. Destiny is one of the players them that can play even
Mhm.
deeper. He can play cam and all of those places. So with Set in the team, he can always be the one linking up the wingers them, and Destin can play off him. And based on both of them having the physicality, at the same time at this level, it could cause some problems the way they actually play. To get the ball up the pitch. So like a Mexican team that wants to pressure you and cause us much problem, that's one of the things that could be effective. Like if you want to play out, you can just get it over the top, and both of them is good enough to win the ball and also link the play. So that's why I'm gonna go with the one that you had said, but go also with Set as well in the team.
That's fair. That's fair. Seth is another 9 there. So I'm wondering if you think that, are you thinking that Haiti is going to try to go attack this from a dual 9, the more of a 4-4-2, or maybe a 3-5-2 setup because the nines that they have, or are they going to try to maybe play like we'll call it like the Nigerian style of just a front three of just straight strikers and let them try to kind of create in that sense?
All right, all right. You keep throwing shades at the
No,
Nigerian style.
I'm not. I'm using it as a reference point. Why is this my?
I know,
It's a
I
reference
know, but
point. You would understand
I
it.
heard you. I heard
Our
you.
viewers would understand it.
I heard
Oh
you.
no,
I heard you.
I'm just hating. Yes,
I
yes,
hear you.
yes, yeah.
Don't owe
Jamaica's getting
yourself.
12. They're getting 12.
Oh my God. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So USA, back at USA, because USA had some pieces in there as well that we have to look
Mhm.
out for. And Nico, what about him? You have not talked about him as yet.
For
Oh
the
my
U.S.,
God. Have you seen the manager for the U20 USA team?
I
You
have
have not
not.
looked.
I haven't looked at all. No, let me scroll up to see who it is.
All right. That
Okay.
can't be right.
Apparently it is. So
Michael Neeson. Okay, okay. Nigerian. What? You're gonna
yeah,
give our
well,
Africans PTSD?
no, that just means they'll just have a lot of shots on target and miss. So we'll that's what that means. I am feeling spicy today. But no, he
So
played,
Nico
yeah, see,
Sakaris, San Jose MLS,
yeah.
and this is where I expect we should get separations from the big teams. The engine room, these guys that because I was watching him, and he
Mhm.
is a solid player in the MLS. So I
Yeah.
expect these things to translate. I expect them to translate 100%.
And that's fine.
So
I think the
so
US
he,
team,
I
you can
think
see a lot of players. Yeah.
Yes, I think he's not going to just be there. I think he should be the main one, just like how I'm going with or going with a defensive midfielder for Mexico as well. I think
Mm.
that's going to be the separation because you set up your zones, win back the ball to press and all of those things. You need the persons that are very much educated on in the game to go there and make the difference. And I'm looking for those two guys to dominate the tournament.
Okay. Again, I think
Yeah,
engine room is going to be key here because, again, anyone who can really dictate the play of the game will have a chance to do anything. And at this level, you do need those creative players who can step up. If you're going to face a team who's just going to sit back in the mid block or low block to pick a pass, pick a lock, and do something creative there, you are going to need
yeah,
that. For me, I'm going to go to Canada here because I think
yeah.
there's two players for Canada that
Canada.
I'm intrigued about to see kind of where they step up here. One is Jesse Costa. Jesse is a player who is suffers what many Canadians will go through, which is the lack of true youth programming in Canada, which means what happens is he's currently without a club, but he was currently before with Wolfsburg's U21s and their
Mm-hmm.
U19s. He's a player that plays everywhere in that midfield. And in terms of dictating the pace of the game, he's a player I think has done a good job in terms of development. It hasn't broken into the team yet. I think he may need a move to get some minutes and start to go. He's a player that if he could get some playing time, I think he's an interesting look, even though their senior team has midfielders. A profile of a creative midfielder is something that we lack. We have a lot of eights. Kone is a good, if we needed a 10
Mm-hmm.
in a pinch, Kone would be that player for me. But in terms of just players that they have that can play, Canada has a lot of eights or better suited as wingers who can play in their midfielders, like the Ali Ahmeds, the Mathieu Choignard. I think Mathieu Choignard is a creative, but he's closer to like a Stakio. I think if he could get playing time and continue to develop, he could be a player that in a year's worth of time, you see him all of a sudden on those national team rosters. I do rate him that highly. I am very curious to see how he plays. He did spend some time with the Portuguese youth side, and he's been switching back and forth. That's what a lot of Canadian kids will do until either one national team gives him some run. So I don't mind that option, but I'm curious to see. I'm glad he gets to captain this team. It's his team, and he's been able to do well at the qualifying rounds. The other player is someone who came
BLO.
to team. No,
Okay.
no, not
Okay.
Biello. Um, I mean, there is. I have the list here. I've just lost his name, and I'm going to be mad because it'll come to me afterwards. I'll go to the player I'm looking at. Santiago Lopez,
That's
who's
Lopez. Okay.
playing at Pumas right now. He really he's given that side at the qualifying round. I'd say he gives them bite. He's not a tackler, but he plays with that attitude. He plays with that. I'd call it. I like what's the best way to call it? Like he plays with an intensity, and I'll say he plays with an arrogance that I appreciate that you don't see a lot with Canadian footballers. And I mean, he's a player who scores against Trinidad and the qualifiers, and he walks immediately to the crowd and he's telling the crowd to be quiet. He's shushing the crowd. We don't have those types of players who are going to play with that much arrogance. And I think you need a player like that. And what intrigues me for him is that though he is listed as a 9, he's typically played off on the right side for them. And with no Tajon, I don't anticipate him coming through, but I think another good performance here could open some eyes. And because they are playing Mexico later on this year, you
Mm-hmm.
could see them try to just call him up for that friendly, just to have him go up to the environment, see how he trains with that. But Santi is a good player that I'm intrigued to see. Okay, the lights are brighter. He was one of the players who got up there, and when the lights got brighter, he said, "That's fine. I'm still gonna play. I'm still gonna be myself. I am a good player, and I'm gonna play that way." So we haven't had a player like that who's just that confident. You may say arrogant. He has confidence in his abilities, and he goes out and plays with it, and he plays with that swagger, which we don't see that often with Canadian players. I'm sure there are there. I know someone's going to message me, be like, "This player has swagger." I know, but I think I think he's intriguing because he can set the tone for this team, especially in moments where maybe they struggle to have, say, maybe they're under some adversity, and he's the type of player who can help them play out of it. So Santiago Lopez, he's a player I'm very intrigued to see kind of what he's able to do. Outside of that, for Canada, because we're on there, is anyone else on Canada you want to kind of talk about real quick?
BLO is the one that I actually like. I liked
Mhm,
him from youth 17s, remember? And I thought
mhm,
that he has improved to the level that I thought that he was the vibes guy. He just said the next one has swag. I thought that BLO actually have swag, you know. He brings
mhm,
something different to the table, and I'm stuck in with these players. I just believe that if Canada will go somewhere, you're gonna have these type of players taking them to that level. And I like what I saw last time against Trinidad and Tobago. They just went
mhm,
out there and beat the brakes of Trinidad. Just beat the brake. I know that Trinidad might not have been the greatest team, but the way they position themselves, you can see that they're properly organized, and they just work through the level, the gears to get to where they need to be, and then shut down
mhm,
right there. So I would love to see them get tested by a bigger team like the Mexico or United States to see what gear they truly have. But clearly, they are proving that they are separating themselves away from the pack. To be honest, this Canadian team kind of surprised me. Still, it kind of surprised me, and BLO is one of those guys that I want to give some respect to.
No, it's fair. That's fair. I think for them, I mean, Miles Morgan and then Javon Badwell, two good midfielders who I'll be keeping an eye on as well. I will say for a player, Umar Diallo, who was at Inter Milan's academy, just moved to where did he just move to? Da, 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 da. He just moved to a side in Austria. Lask. He moved to Lask in Austria. I think he's a player who I want to see some more from. Just because if you've been in that, not to say you've been in this academy that long, show me something, but I want to see him not look like he doesn't know his place on the pitch. I think he can
Mm-hmm.
play that well, and I want to see the ability kind of shine here. The lights will be brighter, so let's see some brighter performances from here. So Umar is like a player that I'm hoping can play well, but that's another center forward. Like a lot of players coming in are in the same areas. So I think for Canada, I was focusing in on more players who can maybe take that next step and move, but we'll see kind of how we're able to work and throw from there. Who's your next player you want to talk about?
My next player, well, we have to go down to the tier of Jamaica. You know, Reynolds. I have two Jamaican players that I want to look out for. Reynolds coming in from Wolves, got good pace. He's pretty much direct. I would love to see if Welsh would be the midfielder, what he could do to help Reynolds out, because I do think that they're going to rely on Reynolds a lot this time around, based on what I'm seeing and how weak the squad is. All right. And
Mhm,
then my second, Welsh should have been a man. Welsh is one of the players them that will be heavily used in this tournament in order for Jamaica to even have a remote chance. He's a deeper line midfielder, not necessarily a
yeah.
defensive midfielder, but he actually can put passes together and dictate pieces. So I do expect that. And for today, guys, I'm going for all the midfielders, and believe me, midfielders day. All right, and I think that's how the tournament will turn out. If your midfield ain't good, you ain't going anywhere. All right, and then you have one from Cavaliers that I actually like as well. I think that this tournament will be a make and break for him because he's let me see how old he is. How old he is before, because he's getting older. He
Are you
spent a
talking
few years.
Ainsworth? Or are you
Yeah, Christopher
talking?
Ainsworth. Christopher Ainsworth.
Okay,
Christopher Ainsworth. I'm
okay.
talking. I'm looking at his age to see how old he is.
He should be
Christ-
18. He'll be
Christopher
19 at the end of the month
18.
of next month.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, he's almost 19. So I do believe that this is the last chance for him. So he has to show something here in order to get a push on, get a move. So I do think that he will try and his best in this tournament. He doesn't have the luxury of the Olympics and those stuff. So this is his make or break time. So can he get it done? I am not 100% sure, but I'm going to put all three of them. So I have Welsh, Ainsworth, and Reynolds from Wolves. Those are the three for Jamaica I'm going with.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Just pulling up Mackay Welsh right now. Just to give a little bit more of a deep line midfielder, a CDM to deep line. So, like you said, yeah, he will be the
Mhm.
important from that defensive line, assuming that he is the one who is starting. I say that for reasons.
Um,
I,
there is no other soul. If he's not starting, I'm not turning on the TV, Africans. So believe me, if they don't want me to turn up, tur- put him on the bench. Even though I understand where you're coming from, it is highly
Mhm,
possible that they found a way not to start him. You understand me?
mhm. No, that's fair. But I mean, I think as a player, like you said, he connects to then a player like Reynolds on the wing, who again he's from Wolves, so I support anyone from Wolves, as you know, because Wolves is my side. We're 15th place. We feel good. We feel great. Keep getting those Premier League checks, boys. Keep getting them. But I think he's an interesting prospect. I think a year or two away, but this could be a good opening for him to get some more eyes, and maybe that gets him a good loan move, and then eventually get some more playing time. So I'm happy to see him here. Excited to see what he can do, and then of course Christopher Ainsworth from Cavaliers FC, not to be confused with Jamaica U20 FC. Um, he is he's interesting because he's like in that middle. He's in that middle range in terms of just left. He could be a midfielder, but then he's more of an offensive moving forward left back. So I wonder defensively how he looks in this tournament. I
He's
hope
gonna
he's
get
able to.
tested. He's gonna get
Yeah,
tested. That's all we do know. You know.
mhm,
Yeah, he's
that's
gonna
true. But
get
like
tested.
he did play in all three games, which is good at the qualification round. That's good. But again, if he his other position is at midfield, he's someone who wants to move up. So I hope that his defensive awareness is there, and he can kind of keep everything working from that
Well,
aspect.
he
So
plays
I'm
for Cavaliers, don't, and they are the champions in Jamaica, and Jamaica have some of the best ballers. So I expect him to be one of the best ballers, or at least can nullify as much best ballers as possible. You know,
mhm.
or that is too much best ballers.
What? No, I'm someone. I'm sorry. I've had too many coaches telling me in Canada they want the best team, not the best player. So I was like, I don't know what that
Okay,
means, but okay. But
all right,
um,
fair.
I have feelings about that statement. But
Let
it's
me
what
run
is
through a
that?
prediction.
No, we can run
Are
through.
you?
I'm just looking at the chat that we haven't touched. What
Oh,
is
well,
happening in
yes,
the
yeah,
chat?
yeah, yeah. You have not even looked at the chat. I don't know what's
I haven't
happening
acknowledged
today.
the chat, guys. I'm sorry. Chris
Maybe you're
Corniff,
just
good to
planning
see you
to do
here.
1 hour and that's it. Yeah.
Ziza, good to see you. Sam Bowen in the building, good to see you as well. The notorious JD's dog has started 8 different conversations. Good for you guys. Ulrich Trail, good to see you. Blessings to both of you. Well, blessings to you.
Bless up, Mr.
Blessings to
Albrecht.
you. Yes.
Omar Fowl in the
We
building.
yes. JD's dog saying Patrick Vieira is going to be the USA coach. Just because the man just got fired doesn't mean that he's going to be a coach. But I digress. I digress. Okay, Brian Burke is still here listening. Good to
Big up,
know.
Brian.
We had our Kaler conversation, telling us that JD's dog is tactical manager. Is Jeremy De Leon playing Puerto Rican? There was another player, but I left him on my other computer and I had a whole stat on it and I forgotten him. He'll come to me afterwards and we'll go. Jesse J. Marsh is on something good for development for the Canadian players. He says he wants players coming through from 16, 17, and then at 20. You need infrastructure to do that. Canada doesn't have the infrastructure for that.
Well,
We
he's
need to
going to
build it.
structure things.
We need to
He's
build
going to
it.
structure things in order to get it, Africans. That's what
Oh,
he's
we
going
need
to
to
do,
build.
don't?
We need to build it. There's no doubt. I think we need more opportunities for not only those young players. We need opportunities for coaches who are well equipped for this. There's a lot that needs to start to change, but I think he has had a good first spell as a coach. He was
Yes.
on a he was interviewing with everyone. At some point, I felt like just saying, "Hey, Jesse, like if you're doing interviews with everyone, I am available. We can talk. Anything you'd like. You can talk about your time in Germany. You can talk about Canadian development. I'm always here to be intrigued by it.
And
Thank you for
and
dropping the
he's and
like."
he's and he's giving it to United States as well, at the same
Mhm.
time. I don't know what is wrong with him, like he's using it to propel himself to a next level. You get that feeling?
Mhm. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. So, like again, I want to see him do it, and I'm encouraged to see it. I've kind of gleaned into the conversation of how broken we have been as a system, and I'll probably dive into it a little bit later on. Not on this. That'll be a longer format podcast where I get someone to
Yes, yes,
just
yes.
talk about it. We'll go from there. Then we have a whole conversation about if Canada is separating from the pack. We just sat back down in a chair. How are we separating from a pack, guys?
Well, Sese, I would say Africans doesn't want to say it, but yes, Canada is better than Jamaica, better than Panama, yes, and better than Costa Rica. Yes,
I,
they are better. The system that they're playing, the players that they do have, they are better at this point. So it's Jamaica, Costa Rica, and Panama's time with Suriname, Curacao, Haiti, Honduras, Guatemala, right there waiting. All right, so I think the CONCACAF is going to be one hell of a qualification zone. I'm telling you. Thank God, United States, Canada, and Mexico aren't there because one of them wouldn't have qualified. I don't know who it is, but one of them wouldn't have qualified because one of these teams would have knocked them off. But
that would have been interesting. That's true. But yeah, but let's get to prediction, guys. We're gonna go group by group. You tell us who are your top two, who is fighting for a third place finish, and we'll kind of go from there. The matchups start up tomorrow, which is why we wanted to put this in today. So if you guys are
yeah,
rewatching this, leave those in the comments below. Tell us how we were right or tell us how we were wrong, because this is YouTube. This is what we do here. So please do that. First games, we got Costa Rica, Cuba, and then the USA versus this little
ooh,
island in the Caribbean, JD. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Jamaica, I think that's what they're called.
I am very
Jamaica.
much familiar. That is my homeland. My
Oh,
homeland.
I
Yes,
was I was
maybe.
made aware that I was made aware that you are Surinamese, Haitian, Belgian,
Well,
Nigerian, but
that's
and
who
span and
that's
whatever
you
England is playing.
you
Whoever England is
realize that
playing, you're that
you,
nation.
you realize that they are not here because I am not covering Jamaican contents. We are covering more all purpose contents, and they only support Jamaican contents. That's why they said I'm not born in Jamaica because I'm not over the top the big word right there, yes, yeah, I won't be that type of person. Yes,
I agree,
so
Omar.
i
One of
i
the hats he
enjoy
wears.
I enjoy watching these conversation. He has, oh my god, yes, that is true, that is true. I have a Belgian citizenship, yes, but what that says, that doesn't say I wasn't born in Jamaica. That's what I had started the conversation with you. Africans, let me do our prediction because I don't know why this spiral onto where I was born, what I'm supporting. Big up yourself, Dwayne Thomas. Massive respect, thanks for being here. And guys, support the stream by hitting a like button, share, and subscribe. If you want to
Mhm.
donate to the channels, you donate to the channels, and all of those things become members. Costa
Indeed.
Rica, Cuba. Think it's going to be a very, very good game because this Cuba team, it looks like Cuba kind of get that extra gear now to push at all levels.
Mhm.
Maybe we're not giving them the respect, but they are turning up. They looked very good in the qualifiers, and I want to say that they're gonna push Costa Rica. Costa Rica, I think should be the favorites in this game, but I think it's going to be close. So I could easily see Costa Rica winning this one 2-1, 3-1.
Mm. I was thinking something of that nature as well. So I was gonna go with Costa Rica at like a 2-1, at a
To
2-1, because I
one.
think Cuba's good enough to score. So I think
Yes,
they should
yes,
be good for that. And then after the evening game, or the morning of football for you, um,
yes.
hopefully with some good porridge, you'll enjoy that. Um, what are you thinking for that result? The as Jay, I'll try to do my JD impression. The mighty United States versus Jamaica. I think Jamaica, the mighty United States. So that's 10 goals. I'm gonna go with 7-3. Is that too
Seven
disrespectful?
three.
Is that too
Uh,
disrespectful? No.
7-3. I would take 7-3 swinging. 7-3 would be sweet. That would be a very, people would respect Jamaica if it end up if we
Mhm.
score 3 goals on United States. But Africans, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm very sorry.
No, I don't think so
I
either. Let's
don't
be
think
real.
that's gonna. I don't know
Let's
where
be
we're.
let's be very real.
Africans, we couldn't score 3 goals with better players. I don't think it's going to happen this time. And we were playing. I don't even know the team that we were playing. That's how much. It's not happening. All right, I am telling you. United States. They said United States send their weaker team, so that will make it a little bit different. I want the guys them go there and fight hard, so people don't believe that I'm non-Jamaican. But I am not seeing that's winning. I have to be honest. And even the most biased Jamaican YouTubers, I heard them saying that they don't have no faith in this team. They start to blame it to say that it's because we don't get everybody, but I just want them to fight hard, Africans, and I could
Mhm.
see a hard 3 goals win. Oh, 3 goals by something. So if you say seven, um, it's seven
Seems
four or
likely.
7-3. But I am saying 3-0, 4-0, or 3-4-1 best at best. We can create something from a individual brilliance or a free kick or something. So that's what I'm looking at. But I'm seeing over 3 goals to United States. Over three. Let me put it on this. Over three
Okay.
goals.
Over
Over
3 is
three
not
goals.
bad. Not
Win.
fair.
Yes. And it's the
In a
first game. So
real
over three.
Yeah, in a
And
real in a real prediction, JD, I'm going 4-1 USA.
4-1, yes, yeah. I think about that. About that is right. And what I'm looking at is I've done some research and people saying that they made sure them to reach there late, so they don't want the jet lag to set in, and also the altitude to set in. But I can tell you that's not gonna work. These are some fantasy things you guys are talking. Um if you want the altitude to have less problem, you go there earlier. You understand me? I don't understand that mathematics that they gave us, but Africans, that's the mathematics. So I think it might just fire back on them with the altitude to say that it's going to take a while to kick in. I think for the first day they are there, they just found themselves can't breathe and on the ground. That's all I know. I don't know who is planning these things for the Jamaica team, but it's not looking good, people. All right.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think I don't that you when you explained that to me, I was like, "What? You
That's
you
what I heard. That's what they
Okay,
told.
not my federation, not my circus, not my monkeys." I think I would say, yeah, 3, I'd say 4-1 is what I would say for that. And then as the group overall, what do you see as the order for the group? You have Costa
Um,
Rica, Cuba, US, Jamaica.
at this point, I am fighting. I am fighting. I know that we know that United States should be the favorites. United States should be the favorites. Anybody that can upset them should be Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica should be slightly stronger than Jamaica. Um, and then Cuba and Jamaica should be fighting for the third spot. At
Mhm,
this point, when I've really looked at the team, I do believe that Jamaica should come out and fight, but I just expect the games them to turn out exactly like what we just saw. You understand me? And
mhm.
I at first I tried to give Jamaica third spot, but Africans, I don't think we're gonna get third spot either. I had said third, but I'm questioning if we can get third spot. I'm not drunk. I am not drunk, JD's dog. I'm perfectly fine, man. Perfectly fine. I'm just looking at how it's going to work. I'm going to go United States first, Costa Rica second, and Jamaica and Cuba could draw that game, but based on the fact that Cuba concede less than Jamaica, Cuba advance in third spot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is a tough exercise when you haven't seen them play at least one game to say, okay, we have at least an idea of something you can base off some baseline. But based off of what I've seen on the roster, based off what I've seen in friendlies I would say again USA. My my randomness wants to say Cuba in second, but I don't want to
Cuba?
just jump that gun. I'm not going to jump it, but in my mind, I'm like, just put Cuba there, see what happens. But I'm going to go USA, Costa Rica, Cuba, and then Jamaica. Those will be the four for that group. We'll do everyone's first games, but then we'll also talk about the group and how we see groups going. So in Group B, you have Dominican Republic, El Salvador is the first game, and then Honduras, Canada as the second game. Um,
Ooh, good
Dom Rep
one.
versus El Salvador. El Salvador won their group. Dom Rep was put in as a pre-tournament qualifier
Yes,
because they
yes.
were there. I don't as a very side note, I'm gonna move the things aside and say, does doing I understand pre-tournament qualifiers are good if you can create environments where teams can play friendlies and prepare, but reward your winners, no one else. That is my honest opinion. Reward the winners of a tournament and no one else, not the first and second place teams. I want to feel as if winning this tournament incentivizes something. So for me, men and women, because I have the same issue with the women, tell me that just the first, if you win the tournament you get a bye, which means you can run more friendlies, you can play more teams, you can prepare. But if you don't leave with the trophy, I think you should be in qualifiers. I honestly think you should be in qualifiers and you should run it that way. Now in this case, this is a whole conversation in terms of, will this format work? This is our second time with this format for the men.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is the second time, and we've seen it have its issues. On the men's side, I think we had four teams who had to drop out, who weren't able to go. So that's why the groups were kind of how they were. But I am a proponent of, hey, if you won this tournament, that's fine. If so, the US won the last U20s, they get the bye into it. Everyone else, you're doing qualifiers. Hey, and I don't mind the idea of, hey, let's give a country a qualifier, put a bunch of teams there, and that way you can grow the game, give them some gate revenue, have people come out and support them, create an atmosphere. We might as well do that. I do that. But the notion of six teams getting the qualifiers, it's also a CONCACAF issue where it feels like every 2 minutes the qualification rules change because we evaluated and we felt that we needed something different. From what? You just did this. You just made the pot
That,
of
that
rice. You're
that's
telling me
that's
you added
definitely
too much
true.
salt. Like, have you tasted it? Like,
That's
come on,
definitely
people.
true. But that's just the CONCACAF. They're trying to make things exciting because obviously and draw more people out of their houses due to the fact that you don't have United States, Mexico, so you can just automatically get those spots. You're trying to draw more excitement in all the competitions, you know. So
Mhm.
obviously they have United States and Mexico in this one. So I don't believe that they should be changing up this thing. But based on the fact they started it, remember they started it this, from the ladies football. I don't even remember
Yeah.
the ladies. Yeah, the 80 and Jamaica drama. And yeah. So I just believe that it harbors so much excitement. They said, okay, this is the one to work with because you're gonna get excitement always because you're gonna have one team mixed up, and then you're gonna have one big team playing the next big team, and automatically that reach that level. All right, so that's what
Mhm.
I do see though. You know,
And that,
so,
and
or you
that's
look at
fair.
the next group, or you look at that group because we want to run through it. Maybe we can
Yeah.
finish. Are we going to finish on an hour or go over the hour?
We'll go over the hour, JD. JD, at
Okay.
this point, why are we pretending? We're gonna go over the hour. We're just
I'm
let
just trying to figure it out. Yeah, no problem.
yeah. For this group, well, for the games, I think I'm curious to see how Dom Rep looks. El Salvador, they looked good in their groups. This group is interesting for them because they have El Salvador and no, El Salvador has Honduras, and that's just
Mm-hmm.
going to be
El Salvador.
that is a derby of all derbies for the U20s.
El Salvador came through Suriname group, right? It was El
Yeah.
Salvador and Suriname fought it out. Suriname was better than El Salvador. El Salvador used craft and got through that group, which is
Indeed.
fair. Give them their credit. We're gonna give them their credit. I
Indeed,
expect them to
indeed.
get beaten in this one. They are gonna put up a fight. It's gonna be a very, very good group. But ooh, El Salvador, El Salvador, Dominican Republic, Honduras, Canada. Okay, all right. That it looks like, but El Salvador with Salvador will get the third spot. They will get the third spot at least. At least, so I'm thinking Damrep will get dropped out of this tournament.
Hmm.
Yes, so Canada will win the group. Yes, Africans, I say it. Yes, Canada will beat Honduras. Yes, Honduras is a very tough team to play, but Canada win the group. Honduras second and El Salvador third.
Okay, I am going out of respect. I'm going Honduras
Honduras
first,
first.
Canada
I know. I
second, and look at this level. They at this level they are Mexico. The U20 Honduras, the youth levels
I
don't
know.
that
I know. I
they
know.
know what they do. I see that name.
But
I say
I like
okay.
that Canadian team. I'm telling that Canadian team, you're not giving it respect. You're not giving them respect.
I am. I'm just respecting Honduras a little bit more because for whatever reason that at the youth level they have it together.
All
Something
right.
happens between U23 and
Canada to upset.
senior,
Let me write
and
it
it
down.
just
Canada.
doesn't vibe for some reason. Maybe it's a smaller age group, but they are a team. I think Canada gets out of this group. Um, I think if they play like they played in the group stage, I
Yeah.
think every game will be at the level at the minimum of that Trinidad game, and I think they can play well and play and get results. But I think Honduras is a quality side at youth level. Honduras is
No, no,
historically,
I totally
yeah.
agree. I totally agree with you. I was just saying that what I saw from the Canadian team, if as you what I said, if you can keep it together, to play organized and use your weapons, they have
Mhm.
a chance to beat Honduras.
I wonder if they go with BLO end because typically I think they only started one game together at the qualifiers, BLO and Costa together. If they I wonder if they can get that combination to work from CDM to that because Jesse likes to have the ball
Mm-hmm.
and Alessandro is a good player and he's a good pace setter. He's a good like pace, like let's get this pace down here and let's go through our motions here. And Jesse is a player who will do that, but then also say, you know what, let's just go. Let's just go and create because he has the players around him to do it. So I'm curious if they're able to get that combination to work. If they get that clicking, I am excited. But I respect Honduras at this level, so I'm gonna give him the group, and then we'll go from there. And for the games, I think I'm just gonna go a 2-2 draw, Canada Honduras for the
Yeah, I
Saturday
could
game,
see that one. But
and
El
then
Salvador, 3-1 over Damer.
I am going to go Dom Rep 2-1 over El Salvador.
So if you believe that what Damer did before, they're gonna carry it over in this tournament?
I am saying Dominican Republic, Republic de Dominique. Show me why you got this by. Show me. Show it to me. And if they don't, I will be wrong and I will be wrong. But I think that's it. Like I won't lose
All right,
sleep.
all right, all right, all right.
But if they got this, I want them to show up and show well. So that's them. And then third group, I think this is on paper, this is the group of death here. Panama, Guatemala, Haiti, or it's the group of life, depending on how you look at it, because most people will say outside of maybe Mexico, all three teams are alive. Who do you like to top this group? I think you're going to go Mexico. Now, are you going to go
Yes.
with your heart and go Mexico, Haiti, Panama, Guatemala, or are you going to
No, no,
use
no.
other metrics?
Mexico first. Woo! Guatemala goes home. I know you don't want to pick that, but Guatemala goes home. Mexico first. JD's dog, you can keep on bad mind in Mexico. Mexico first. Mexico first. Uh, 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 wonder if Edie is good enough to take the first. Edie's power. Edie's power might cause some problems in a man.
It's Haiti's inconsistency for me.
So Edie and Panama, Edie and Panama. I think Edie gets second. Edie gets second. Panama gets the third spot. Guatemala going home. Guatemala going home. That's what I'm going with. Guatemala going home. Yes. Mexico first, 82nd, and Panama third. Panama third. Listen to myself, Paul. I don't know what's so funny with the one Paul over there, you know.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what it is, but
Well,
I don't.
my
This
selection? My
no,
selection?
it's probably something I've said, but we'll see. I think for me, I want to say Mexico on paper gets it done, and that's historical for them. I don't know how I feel about second place because on second, I should think Panama should get this done. Listen to me very carefully, JD, when I say this. I love I love me some Brian Destin. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good. I was about to say Haiti's problems are generational and multi-leveled. They all just miss. I want to. It's
But
very
Africans, it
unfair
was
for me.
team of a tournament that they were scoring. The reason why you're picking Destiny is because he scores some of the most goals. So why are you unbiased here? USA winning the whole thing. They never won the last. They won the last thing after
They
beating
did.
Honduras.
They
But
did.
after
Yeah.
that, U17s they get battered by Mexico, and they lost Gold Cup. They got battered in the Copa America. So JD's dog, get real, all right? United States, it's their swing time now for losing, all right? They lost World Cup qualifiers, all right, and it was Canada won everything. They barely qualified. If it one more bad result, and that's it for them. So stop overhyping United States, please.
I just want to see from my thing with Haiti is this. I want to see them. Haiti to me, JD, and this will speak very much to how I feel about them. I'll use I'll use this example. Haiti is Nigeria to me. I just want to see them put it together. I see the talent. I'm not denying it's not there. It's there. We can all see it. But I need a tournament where they walk in and don't play. We scored a goal and we are as solid as Swiss cheese defending all the way till the final until we play a team that will test us. I want to see Haiti play and just say, we're going to outscore you and that's what we're going to do. If you score two, that's great. We will score five. And that may be unfair for this tournament because in this tournament, you just need to win one game in the elimination rounds and you make the World Cup. But I think Haiti is a side that has the talent. Turmoil aside, they are a side that should be doing better. And I think they have the talents to do so. And I just want to see it. So
It's
for
going to happen,
me,
Africans. Don't worry yourself. It's going to happen.
Uh, this is true. I have to trust you one time, and I won't come
Yes,
back and
trust me
tell
on
you
that
we're
one.
wrong. Fine. So
Well,
I
you're gonna learn today that I was not wrong.
am I wrong?
JD, that was a little aggressive there. Remember, there is a safe space for everyone. This is a safe. No, I have not said anything bad. Ladies talk. I only said that United States is not so superior as what you are trying to make it out to be because you have hyped up yourself that you won the last U20s. Before that, Honduras beats the United States every other time. So stop let it look like it's them dog walking Honduras every single time. This time they did well this time around, but next time they're gonna get got. All right, so don't worry yourself.
So I'm going to go. So I'll go then. Mexico,
Hmm.
Haiti,
Okay.
Guatemala, Panama. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give one in. I'm gonna go one
Oh my god.
based off of for no reason. I'm gonna put it there. No, we're not. No. You can't talk about safe spaces. I have a summer full of this. I am tired already. I am tired already. The
I,
summer
Afri-
just started, and I know
Africans are
anytime
just
someone sees Canada,
Africans.
JD,
They are
after
actually
walking
number one
blue,
trending. It's the video is the number one trending just the same after 13 days. So I guess I know that you're telling the truth, because if it's number one trending everywhere, that tells you. JD's dog. I don't know what you're saying. No idea what you're saying. Something.
JD, I have a whole summer where if Canada loses anything, any country that beats Canada at something, I know this. This is the tweets. This is the statement they're putting out, and I know I'm seeing it. The Olympics are going to be so hostile. You will see side of Canadians that are so angry because they're like, just leave us alone. We
Yes,
just came
they,
to
they, they
swim.
need to they need to evacuate Drake from out of Canada, because
It's his only
he's giving.
safe place. Where else is he gonna go? It's his only safe place.
Well, I guess that's a part of it. They need to find somewhere to put him, because he's giving them too much bad name. All right.
All joking aside, I think, yeah, I'm curious. It's gonna be hard to really know at this point, and we won't have a full day of match days until the weekend is through. So probably
Mm-hmm.
Monday coming back. Maybe we'll touch base and kind of see how everyone's looked after that, and then really think about our predictions that we made here. But I think for what we have, I have for Group One, I have USA, Costa Rica, Cuba,
We all have
Jamaica,
Jamaica,
and
either
going in
last
last.
or
Mhm.
best third place, and I thought that all the persons viewing said the same. I can't. This is I'm wondering if luck will go to Jamaica side, because this is the first time I don't hear anyone overhyping the Jamaica team. They're saying that they don't think we're gonna do nothing. So I'm wondering if the guys them can surprise them. You know what? I'm gonna leave a reserves third spot for them. To
Oh,
say
what?
that
What?
Cuba and them going to fight it out for third spot. I'm going to hold that belief,
J-
that I
J-
don't waste my sleep. I expect to waste my sleep for United States, but but not for.
JD, all I'm gonna say is, why are you gonna reserve an empty seat then? Just, enjoy the Mexican vacation, and then just go on with life. I need, I need, I need Fabian
Africans.
Reynolds to come
Don't.
back healthy for camp. So no injuries for Fabian, please. My Wolves need someone who's not Portuguese to change the tide for them. And when we're
This
selling everyone else
Africans.
out.
This is one of the teams that actually got some wins. You have to be honest. Because the girls them lost and draw almost every game. At one point, I was tired of seeing the girls them play. Obviously, we like to watch the games them. For different whatever reasons. Because we know we ain't winning.
We you just Yeah, this is why I've been at 798 for the last 2 weeks. And so we said something, and everyone's like, we're not gonna let him grow. We don't want to see him succeed. So we're just gonna move off of that. Because
Okay.
if I say funny still, someone will be like, huh, where have I heard that before? Where have I heard that before? But anyways, no, we enjoy seeing the stars of tomorrow playing today and having
Yeah.
their game develop. I
Yeah,
agree
but,
with
but we
that.
need to win a game, Africans. I'm tired of this losing.
You're tired of 3 days of
Yes.
vacation in the country, then back home?
Yes, I'm tired of it, because the Reggae Boys and the U20s gave us some hopes to say that, obviously not the U20s, because they had won the games, but they never looked so impressive. So we are expecting them not to do good if we don't get the new players. And the problem is, we had gotten the new players them. We had gotten no, we never got the new players them. So we have a lesser squad than what we started the competition with. I have never heard that in my life, Africans. Oh, in the world, you end up going backwards when you have a harder task at hand.
Mm, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Dwayne,
They
what
said I
time is
should
that?
believe. You
I believe in too. I believe in structure. I believe in the power of friendship apparently as well. Um, Jamaica plays 10 p.m. Eastern time here. I am in that Toronto Eastern time zone. So factor that in for you, JD. That's what, 1 a.m. in
Uh,
Belgium?
which 1 a.m., 4
No,
a.m. in
what's
the morning?
4 a.m. That's right. We're 6. Yeah, you're not 3. Why am I? I went to school, guys. Don't worry. I know what time zones are. Don't worry. Okay. Where can you watch it? I'd assume that you should be able to watch it
CONCACAF
on.
website, website
Yes.
is going to be on. Don't worry yourself. If you can't get it, it's going to be in our Discord. So we will get it, man. The link will be here, man. Don't worry yourself. It will be here 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we will rally back. We will rally back and see if we can break it down. Once we get to see most of the teams, them we can truly break it down and see where they're gonna go. Because I think after the first set of matches, like we always do, we know who is going to go places. We know what will not happen in the next game, and I have a strong feeling that I've gone a little bit light on the United States Jamaica game, but I am going to stay right there.
JD, if I see any combination of numbers that equal 10, I'm coming back and saying my method of counting syllables for teams is scientific. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I don't wish it upon anyone, but if that works, it's
Yes, I sat back Africans and looked at the game against Mexico.
Mm.
So it was not the everyone played, like it was not the. I thought there was two to three of the guys that obviously they were busy playing actual big people football, so they were just trying to find the extra pieces, and the Mexicans, the way they just flew the ball around Jamaica, you could know it's only one way Jamaica could have scored. You understand?
Mm.
Yes, and it ended 6, so so I, I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best, and I will just leave it right here. I'm just hoping for the best. Uh, Let me just put 3 goals, 3 goals, yeah, and then hopefully we can save it closer and closer, and hope that Mexico gets better. Yeah, I mean United States gets better as the tournament goes on, so they can beat everybody by more, so you can get a good position. I don't know if you
Fair,
like
fair.
that conversation, Africans. That's the best way.
At this point, you want your team to be peaking at the right time, so hopefully they play their best game. For Canada, I think the slander, the disrespect.
Yeah, but that's just them.
I can't comment because any comment I make is just easier way to bury me. So no, I won't give you this. No, but I think it'll be interesting to see. Again, you want your team to be peaking by if they get a result out of this Honduras game, even as a draw, that opens them up for going. And if you're Jamaica, thinking the most optimistic way, Jamaica, Haiti, and Canada, I think if they can get a result in their first games, it sets them up well for the remaining two because leaving
Yeah.
those games with at least a point gives you life. Because I don't think they will have other sides that are as good unless we find out that we've been really sleeping on Guatemala, Dom Rep, or Cuba, which is very possible. Canada slept on them and in the last U20s, and we learned that lesson. So I think it'll be interesting to see if they can come away with a point somewhere. If those 3 teams come away with points, their tournaments open up very well. But that's a big if for
But
all
I would
3.
say Haiti have a better chance of coming away with a point than Jamaica. Haiti is far better than Jamaica, like far better than Jamaica, and they have everything that Jamaica has as well, to be honest. So I would say Haiti stands a better chance of frustrating Mexico. But I just believe that the Mexicans, with the extra super talents, will get them over the line. It's going to. I think these U20s will be very nice. A majority of the Jamaicans I'm watching, when you watch these U20s, you're gonna say that, oh my God, it honestly look like some of these guys can truly be playing for the main teams. Like 3 to 4 of these players on Mexico team can actually make Jamaica national team.
And that'll be what you want. I mean, ultimately, you want that age group to be peaking and getting through, because historically, I feel that your U20s making the jump to the national team is a much better clip than, say, even your U17s or even your U23s. This is the age group you want to see them just starting to peer in. So I'm very much curious to see what they're able to do at that level, and if they can continue to perform well. It's going to be a big tournament. Like I mentioned the Canadians because I wonder if
I
yeah,
like how
good
Canada
job. Good job.
plays
Well done. Well done.
play
You
with
know what?
so much youth. Oh,
I, you know,
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
can't
okay,
even
okay.
be. At some point, I'm like, you know what? Well done, you sir. Are your wordplay is well done. Good for you. Stevenson Gray is here. How are you doing, sir?
Big up
Stevenson's
80 in the building. Yes, man, that's my
yeah.
brother, man.
I
Yeah,
was gonna
yeah.
say, Stevenson, how do you feel your side will do in their group with Mexico, Panama, and Guatemala? Because I was gonna say, yeah, I'm curious to see what that aspect is. And if you guys are from any of these countries, how do you feel your side will do in these groups? Do you think they have a chance to get out, or do you think we are rating your side too highly, or we shouldn't sleep on a certain side? Let us know. We'll go another 5 max 10 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up there. But I am curious, Stevenson, as to what you think about Haiti's side and Haiti's chances here. But like as you were saying, JD, I think the U20s here. I brought up Canada's because there are clear roster areas that they can step into. I
Mm-hmm.
think right if you're a Canadian youth player at any level, a winger and or a fullback. I think those are interesting positions. Yes, we saw good performances by mostly all of them in the tournament. I think it'll be interesting to see if they are able to translate that. For Canada, the question is if you're a winger or if you are a fullback, there is a spot on your team because I think if you can get minutes, you could play very well. So I think it'll be very interesting. And yes, Jonathan Davis scored more goals than the entire Jamaican team, 2 goals in Copa America, and 2 goals on penalty kicks. Facts. Okay, Haiti versus Mexico. Tell us how you feel. Yes, if you don't know, Jonathan David is of Haitian parents, born in Brooklyn, playing for Canada.
And that is something else.
I'm not
Born
mad
in
about it.
Brooklyn, Asian, and he's playing for Canada. Oh my God.
The thing, I always like the conversation when Americans are like, well, he could have played for us. Mike, he was never going to play for you guys. He would have played for, it was either going to be Haiti or Canada. And I'm at peace with any of those
So
choices.
he grew up in Canada then, right?
Yeah, he grew up in Canada. He grew up in Canada just like Yunus Musa was born in the States and then grew up in England, right?
Okay, okay, okay,
There,
okay,
there's a
okay.
lot of people who were born here and then were here for like 5 months, 6 months, and then they were gone. So they got that passports, and then USSF was like, "Hey, how do you feel about a freedom fries?"
All right, all right, all right, all right. I heard you. I heard you.
All
Well,
right.
uh, so I'm going to do the Jamaica USA game, learn a few things about that one. Then 80 Mexico game. I don't want to miss that one either.
No, I'll try to be back. I should be back for that one. So if I get back
Uh,
home in time, we'll hop on for that for sure.
all right, all right, yeah, all right. And I want to get a Canada game. I know you will try to up and hide, but
My schedule is packed. I have said this many a times, but since
all right,
everyone's under the impression that I just run and hide, you know what? No, we're gonna schedule
uh,
this. We're gonna schedule this proper because Canada plays Tuesday. Dom Rep. That would be an interesting game. Let's do it. Tuesday, Canada.
and that one is
Because
7 p.m.
yeah, it's 7 p.m.
Okay.
Eastern here, so that should be what, three,
Okay,
two,
so
three
all
for
other
you.
games are okay. Damn, how much late games Jamaica get?
Jamaica plays 7 on the Monday. So for you, if that's 3 hours, so that's like 1 a.m. for you,
Yeah, man, the
roughly.
1 a.m. I can survive because I like to get my extra sleep, So yeah, the
Mm.
1 a.m. I'm definitely going to survive that one. But the 4-1, yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of stretch. But
You have nothing
I'm
but
gonna.
1 a.m. games after that. And then El
All right,
Salvador there.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have only 2 games after that. That's just it.
Yep.
I don't see the fourth game, but maybe we get the fourth game.
Maybe. Maybe. The games I'm really if we win the games on Wednesday, Thursday, whoever makes the quarterfinals, as long as those teams win those games, because I know I'm gone on I'm leaving the early morning and I'm away for a week. I have a vacation that's set there for the 3rd till like the 11th. So as long as they take care of business before that, I am good.
Okay,
I
okay.
am good.
But I think Canada has no problem. No problem making advance into the next round. So I think you're going to hear from them. by the next window. Yeah. So people, we have
The,
done
the
a good amount of time, and
the Haitians are in the chat now. There's like, well, he was born, he grew up there too. Jonathan David, yes, was great. Yes, I do agree. David was either playing for Canada or Haiti. The U.S. was never an option, in my opinion, based off of how he does, how he rolls, his movements. He's either going to be wearing blue or he was going to be wearing red and white, which ironically are all three colors of the thing. So it doesn't really specify it either way. But the JD's dog just wilding in the chat.
yeah, just leave him
We're just
alone.
gonna leave that there.
Yes, JD's dog. I need to get some sleep. We are going to rally back whenever we have Africans again. But I am going to keep you guys posted because I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing a lot of contents, So he's going to join me a lot of times. Don't worry yourself. We will get him here because anytime he's in the chat, he has to join me. No, he's going to hide fully. But I will be giving a daily updates as to what I do see in these games, because what that does, it helps me to avoid Jamaica category of just talking in circles for 50 years, so we can see some football and some quality players, so we know realistic where Jamaica do rank, 80 do rank, and all of those teams, the drama and the over the top selling, I need a break. So this tournament is going to serve for that, and Olympic as well. So I might be here covering 2 tournaments overall. Yeah.
We
I'm
might
doing
as well
it.
take
Believe
it
me,
in.
I am doing it. Just watch. It's going to
That
work
is the
out as
thing
well.
that's the thing that sucks for me because I'm away during most of the women's tournament. I'll get like the opening matchup and then a little bit after that, but then I'll miss some more. So I am trying to get in as much as I can. Then after that, I'll be in the States for a bit, so I'll try to pop in when I can, but it'll be interesting to see what we're able to do. But yeah, I'm good footy happening. Olympic tournaments, you have teams ramping up, you have the championship. This basically takes you right up until and then during both tournaments, which will be great. And then we have everything going. I look forward to players. We should do this sometime before the European season starts. Our 10 players in CONCACAF who have something to prove this year. Our 10
Nice
CONCACAF
one.
players. Yeah.
We're going to record that and put it out. We need
Oh
to put
yeah.
some recording notes as well, some short version, so people
Indeed,
can,
indeed.
you know.
I agree. I
Okay.
agree. But yeah, guys, thank you for spending some time. All of you who came through, all of you on the rewatch, truly do appreciate it. Until next time, we are back on Tuesday, guys. Don't forget that Tuesday for our women's Olympic tournament qualifier. Can Canada
That's
repeat,
gonna
or is it Spain's
that's
world that
gonna
we're
be
just
a
living in? Or
that's gonna be a
and
fire.
it'll be fire. And I think the more interesting question is: can an African team actually medal? Can
Well,
they
let's
medal at
see.
this
I
year's?
want
Let's
the
see.
result. I want the result. The friendly game, Nigeria versus Canada. That's what they need
It,
to
it
tell
was
me.
it was
And so
1-0 behind closed doors. So
one
it
nil
was
to
1-0
Canada.
Canada. Yeah.
Okay, they are lying, but
JD, do you want to see a federation work? Tell Canadian women soccer fans that the game was behind closed doors. They will search. They will find the man who was standing in a direction of the game who happened to take a picture. They will zoom that out and be like, "Oh, it looks like Janine Becky did start, and it looks like it was high. That looks like a 9." Or is that a 10? No, no, that's definitely Ashley Lawrence. Ashley Lawrence and Becky and Haidema started. And then the next person will be like, well, my cousin was taking a bus and he snapped a picture here. And they'll be like, this is where the goal happened. It's just a dot. They will sleuth. Ask the Canadian women's fans to find you information. They are the people who will find it. Also, Nigeria just leaked it out. So that's a whole thing too. But it's good. And I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to waiting for Canada's women to beat France. African. I think France will be interesting. I think they should do well at the same time. This is a tournament. For whatever reason, Canada's tournament on the women's side is the Olympics, not the World Cup, which boggles my mind because you have more teams to go through, but maybe more teams who will frustrate you defensively. And Canada can just be a defensive team versus having to take the play. Canada's better suited for smaller tournaments, it seems. But we'll see. We'll talk about all of that a little bit later, guys. JD, thank you for being here. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it for him. If you're new here, I'm probably still short of 800, trying to get to 10,000 before 1,000 before the end of the summer. 10,000 would be nice too, but let's just get to
At the
1,000
end of the
first.
summer, we can eat that by the end of the summer. I'm going to promote the video. I'm going to promote your channel in all of my watch alongs. Them it's something that you're not going to be available to because you're just always busy. I'm going to promote you to get the 200. Believe me, I'm going to promote you.
I
Just watch.
This
Just
is
watch.
true. I am sorry, JD, that I scheduled my vacations in the middle of
Africans,
tournaments.
and
I'm
me and
sorry.
you are here for around 4 or 5 years. It's the
Oh yeah.
same thing for four or
I
five years.
know. I'm consistent.
Yes.
I'm like, August is the perfect time. And then I'm like, oh
So
no.
don't come
August
and
is when everything's
tell me
happening.
about yes, I'm sorry, brother. You're not sorry. After 3 5 times it becomes normal. So I'm going to work. Me alone will be working, and we will get 200 people over here. Believe me. All right.
All righty. We will do that, guys, and everyone else. Change the word community. YouTube changed the word community post. The community to post. Oh, okay. I
Okay.
I haven't put anything there, but yeah, we'll continue to work on it. Probably try and streamline it from there. But yes, guys, keep you up to date. We have our next video coming up on Tuesday. JD, I know, has stuff coming up all throughout the week, so keep your eye on him. If I don't talk to you guys, I'm not online. Have a great weekend. U20 starting, Olympics starting after that. Enjoy the footy. Keep the conversation going. And until next time, we'll just say bye bye for now.